Hey you guys, I wanted to share with you these cute little bags that I'm hand sewing and just kind of give you a little walkthrough on how I'm doing them. I know there are, this is like a sewing 101 kind of thing, but I was hanging out with some friends today and they wanted me to do a video on this. But again, I'm not the first person to come up with this little sack idea, obviously, and I'm not the first person to come up with stamping on them. They sell them. They're usually muslin bags. They could kind of look a lot like this. This is one I got from Tim Holtz. They're very expensive to buy, or they can be. So I don't know. I was just messing around one day and decided I wanted to learn how to sew, and I wanted this to be my kind of first project. Now, I'm no expert by any means, but like I said, I had some friends who saw me making them and just asked me to do a little quick tutorial on it. So basically, I had gone to Walmart and I found that they have these little flour sack towels in the dish towel section of Walmart. And it's really cool because they're very big. I mean, they're like 28 inches by 29 inches, so they're really large. And there's two of them, and I think they're like $1.89 or something like that, or $1.98 or something. They're under $2. And so I came home, I bought some really fun turquoise thread. I got a new sewing machine for Christmas, so I wanted to, at least break it open. It's now almost May, and I haven't even touched it. And so this is what I made. So this is how to do it for all of those who don't really know how to sew. If you know how to sew, you may cringe. I don't know. But basically the measurements for this size bag is I'm cutting them at the fabric itself. I'm cutting it at 5.5 inches by 12 inches. And then I'm just going to pull this side up. And then when I fold it, or let's see, I'm going to pull this side up and then just do like a 1/2 inch and just sew like a little border here and a border here. And then what you do is you flip it upside down so that the outside of the bag is now towards the inside, and you're going to just fold it up, get it even, get it nice and even, and then you're just going to stitch up the sides. So this is what it looks like stitched up the sides. And again, I'm not a perfect sewer by any means, but they're just super cute bags. Then what you want to do is you're going to turn them inside out, and you can use something. If you might want to actually, before you turn them inside out, is just trim some of this area back a little bit so it's not super bulky in there. And I'm sure someone who's an expert seamstress would say, oh, and get your iron out and iron it and all that. I'm not doing all of that because I plan on putting beads in them to send to people, that whenever I send racks and stuff like that, I'm going to use them for that kind of thing. So I just like the crudeness of these flour sacks versus the muslin. The muslin is a very stiff, very firm look, and these are super thin, and I just really like the thinness of these. So once you get it turned inside out, you're going to take some cord. On this one I used cord, on this one I used seam binding. So get some of those little scraps of ribbon that you have out that you only have like small pieces of or something, and this is a perfect way to use them. And then all I'm going to do is take my little safety pin and just kind of pin it in here a little, just like that. And then I'm just going to start threading it through the hole at the top that I made. Like I said, I know I'm not the only person in the world who's ever made these little sacks, but they're so stinking cute, and just thought I would give my subscribers a look at what I've been working on all day. I'm just going to go back through all the way to the end, and then through the back side of the hole as well. Now, if you wanted these to be like a double drawstring, where you had the string when you pull it coming through both sides, then after you do this side, you would turn around and go the other way and do another one so that the strings end up over on this side as well. But I'm not going to go through all of that. And as far as what kind of twine am I using, this is just that cheap twine that you get in the hardware section by the big old huge spools. I had a lot of it. We had worked on a project or something a long time ago, and I just had a lot of it left over and decided to use it. The cool thing about these flour sacks, this would be a super cute idea too, is I know like people like Tim Holtz and Donna Downey and all of them, I see them a lot of times taking these little muslin type towels and soaking up their distress inks and their glimmer mists and things like that off of their mats. Well, once you've done all of that, you could heat set that and then cut them up and use them, and they would be all like colored. Wouldn't that be cool? And so then I'm just going to take, and you could even dip these in some kind of dye before you used them. I'm assuming that they would pick up the dye really well because they're super absorbent. And you're just going to like tie a little knot there in the end, keep that together. And I just come back and trim these off. Now, because this does get pulled on, I would probably come back like later tonight or something before I go to bed, maybe put a little dab of glue in here just to keep that knot from coming loose, but it's not a necessary step. And then you have this, and then all I did was to stamp on them. I just took a piece of chipboard and put it down inside of the sack like this. And I have to admit, I don't have, I'm using this Tiffany stamp that I got from Esmeralda. Thank you so much, Esmeralda. It was very sweet of you to gift this to me. And basically, you could use any stamp set. You could make some cool looking designs on these bags. You know, if you had some really nice vintage looking stamps. And then you dyed them all brown, that would be super cool. Okay, so then I'm going to decide where I want my stamp. And I'm using the Tiffany stamp, like I said, because I was using this teal. I thought the Tiffany would be fun. And since I'm going to put jewelry kind of things in and beads and things. So I'm going to find where I want it, and I'm going to stamp it on. Now, I'm using Stays On instead of archival ink because I'm using fabric. And I want this to be permanent. And I have to admit that the Stays On, it's kind of pale when it goes on here. But again, I like that because it looks worn and tattered, and I want the kind of rough look with these. That's the look I'm after. And there you go. Then you got your stamp. And then I'm going to just do it on the back side as well, just so that they match on both sides. Again, I know these would be so cute with the, you know, your glimmer mists and all your misting sprays, and maybe decorate the outside of them with some of the flowers and some lace or something. Oh, to sew some little lace on here, that would be super cute too. And like I said, I know a lot of people are making these right now, and I know they're very popular on Etsy and things like that, but you know, again, I just was so proud of myself that I learned how to use my new sewing machine, and I've never sewed really before. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for you know, sharing with me today. I really appreciate it. And there's my cute little bag, and it took no time to make them. Thanks.